Hey, how's it going? I'm Scott Leisure here on a Sunday evening in the Mile High City, the Sunday before Thanksgiving, people. Welcome to the Sunday evening poetry reading. We've been doing the poetry readings on Sunday nights now for a few months, and I think it's been well received. I think it is. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Welcome to the Sunday Poetry Inner Circle, right? Amen for inner circles. I think it's been good, especially through this retrograde period that we've been discussing on the Sunday evening streams and on everyone's favorite weekly podcast, Wednesday edition. I think it's good. We've been discussing our relationships. People, communication is wrecked through these retrograde times, and it happens like three times a year. So we must learn about the effects so we can be better prepared for the next one, right? Just like pandemics. Pandemics. So I had an online interaction with the guy the other day who had posted about his sobriety. Now, I've mentioned many times here and on Wednesday edition that we're not a recovery podcast and don't really want to be, but the topic will come up because Scott is an alcoholic. Alcoholic. The guy had posted, the guy had posted about how he found a way of recovery. And really, what it sounded like is he had found his power. He'd found his calling, and he managed to string some time together. Amen. Amen. I'd commented on his post that, everyone should do the 12 steps with a sponsor. And then he quite quickly responded with something like, yeah, that's one way. It's not what I did, but it works for a lot of people. And people, I'm going to say this right now. If you don't know anything about recovery, there are many different paths and many different types of people, and not one is the absolute truth. And anyone talking with you about recovery is only speaking from their own experiences, right? Just like anything, just like baking a cake. You can only tell somebody how to bake a cake if you've baked it. Personally, and with tons of people I know that have completed the 12 steps, it's that we were so wrecked that a complete spiritual makeover had to happen. It's kind of like a really deep, emotional, and thorough cleanse, for lack of a better metaphor. And basically, what that cleanse does is helps identify and remove your ego and replace it with a higher power. And that's the best way I can describe that on like a 7-minute poetry reading on a Sunday night. Fair? So, Scott, what does this have to do with relationships? Well, it has to do with ego deflation, humility, compassion, and basically love. The next time you leave a discussion with, someone in your inner circle, those people, look back and think, was I humble listening to their story? Was I compassionate? Did I act and respond with love? Because if that person is inner circle worthy, these are the ones you should always be practicing those things with, right? Second amen for the inner circle. So tonight's poem is short and sweet. It's about a drifter, like those old Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns, right? I, of course, do not know when I wrote this, but the title of the poem is Motel Bed. All right, let's do it. Motel bed here on a Sunday in the Mile High City. Pitch black night, desert interstate, Zeppelin blasting keeps him awake. Cactus hide, stillness of the night. The next town is now in sight. Motel bed to rest his bones. Tired eyes, he's all alone. His selfish thoughts, his only friend. His damaged soul, too torn to mend. What drove him here? What was the cause? He broke some hearts and bent some laws. When he awakes and leaves this town, self love and pride beaten down. The volume knob turned up to 10. He's driving down the road again. No destination, no place called home. A loner, a drifter, will forever roam. Amen. Amen for the Sunday evening poetry. And amen for my inner circle tribe people. Thank you for letting me express some of me with you this evening, right? I will see everyone on Wednesday for your favorite Wednesday podcast, Wednesday edition. Say that 5 times fast. The Thanksgiving Eve edition, right? scottleisure.com, Instagram, and as always, best enjoyed on the YouTube channel. Be safe, people. Watch out for the drunk drivers this week. They are out in force. Walk with intention and remember to stay grateful, people. Amen.